What's going on, everybody? This is Tony with Urban Girl Scout Media, and I'm living the dream as always, coming to you today to talk about another video game review. This time we're going to do something on the PS3. Let's talk about Dead Island. So it's another zombie game. Pretty straightforward here in terms of a concept. You're in the middle of a zombie outbreak. You're trying to get from point A to point B. Point A is it started, point B is you're escaping, um, in this case, an island. So that's kind of where we're going to start is just this basic premise that you know I feel like zombies have become so wildly popular over the past decade or so, but it's always a very simple premise of you're trying to escape and you're generally on a remote island or area or something like that. But let's go ahead and talk about this game. I'm rambling too early, waiting for this coffee to get done. It's early in the morning and just beat this game yesterday, so I want to get some of these thoughts out before I forget them. So the start of the game, you come into this. Basically, you come into the night of the uh, the outbreak, and they show you the four main characters you'll get to choose from. One of them is a local of the area. One of them is a employee of the hotel resort that the island hosts. One of them is one of the backup singers to the, or one of the backup rappers to the performing act that night, and then one of them is an athlete who is visibly drunk in the start of the um, intro, but you don't know what sport he plays. You just know he plays for the goddamn champions. So then it breaks out. You wake up. You get to choose who you are. You wake up and you start from there. It is a very long game. I've actually played through it twice. The first time, my PlayStation 3 had a issue with it, so I had to replace it, and I decided to start the game over actually a few months ago because it was a game I really enjoyed. Um, so I guess the personal highlights for me would start with this. The story mode's actually pretty decent. You have a lot of different areas you need to get to. You have a lot of different things you have to accomplish. But aside from that, you can also just kind of wander around. There's plenty of side missions, um, and then just trying to find stuff. You do get the option to modify and create weapons, so you have to find specific items. And it's not just your usual nails, blades, duct tape. You do find that, but they do have things like a stingray tail, flares. Uh, Sometimes you need a specific crowbar or a specific base weapon, things like that. So they do a lot of unique things with the weapons. Um, and the game offers you a lot. Now, the combat's pretty basic. It is melee. You do get some firearms, but you don't get those until, I'd say probably halfway through, maybe even later into the game, depending upon how much or how you go about it. The melee weapons are really where this game's you're gonna do the most of your um, fighting and combat. You're not gonna get much else from anything else early in the game, at least. You do get to search through because it's a resort. There's tons of traveling, so there's tons of travel bags sitting around and randomly placed cases and things like that for you to find items. You have the option to sell them, and they even let you find expensive items that don't really relate to creating weapons, like diamonds, and you can sell those. So it's pretty cool. Your main health is going to be, you can buy med kits, they're expensive, but your main option to gain health is going to be energy drinks and just like fruit snack, like not fruit snacks, but like snacks that are fruit, uh, different places all around, and that's really the most efficient way to gain life. So that's kind of the outline, I guess, of the game. My personal take on this game is there were glitches. Um, there were times where you just see kind of random glitches. It didn't necessarily affect the game as much as it just was visually. annoying, I guess would be the way to put it. Um, so that was kind of my biggest knock on it. I didn't think that the load time was an issue. I didn't think that the details were an issue. It is a sandbox style game. They give you pretty big areas though to go through. So um, there are definitely some, like the main area, where you can spend a lot of time and level up just going around exploring, having fun, using your new weapons, searching for items, searching for money, killing walkers so that, well, walkers like Run the Walking Dead, killing the zombies so that you can continue to level up your character. Like you can do a lot of that. So, and they offer you plenty of area to go and explore and then come back and do the story. As far as it goes with the story, I'm not going to give too much up. I did beat it. Um, there's a little twist at the end, and I'll tell you that you need to have some ammunition, and yeah, I had a modified rifle that shocked anybody when I shot them. It was pretty helpful. Then I had a shotgun that poisoned them, so it's called the detox shotgun. You get a lot of these modifications by completing quests, whether it be the main or the side quests. Glitches, weapon. I'm trying to think of what else. The weapons weren't bad. I mean, it's pretty much what you'd expect: crowbars, baseball bats, machetes, cleavers, sickles, double-handed blades, things like that. Nothing too crazy. Handgun, shotgun, rifles. There are humans and zombies that you have to fight. There's humans that you work with. I'm trying to think of what else. The game overall was great. Like I read some reviews from the game. It came out in 2011, early September, PlayStation, PC, Xbox, and it looks like just for the most part it received in that 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 range. Um, I would be comfortable saying 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10, whatever, however you want to term it. I really enjoyed this game. When you do beat the game, I'm not going to tell you the story, but I will tell you that when you do beat the game, it does take you back to the beginning of the story, but you get to keep your level and your weapons. So make sure that when you go to that last part, you have the weapons that you want to restart the game with. So I think that's about it. The game's going to be under $10 right now. There are follow-ups and other games to it I haven't had a chance to play, but this game itself is, you can find a lot of ways to do a lot of different things in this game. Um, Exploring and a lot of ways to just find ways to put a lot of time into it. I'm a big fan of buying video games to gain the most value out of them. This is truly a video game that offers you the opportunity to get a lot of value out of the playtime alone. You can consistently go and create weapons and just go about however you want to handle it. They have a really good fast travel system. They have a really good system in terms of being able to sell to people throughout your exploring. So I mean, like I said, there were some knocks, and if you read reviews, you'll see that the game was pushed back, and I guess there was a controversy in Germany because of how much violence there was. There's so many worse games that have so much more going on. I know that we're several years past when this game came out, but I would suggest if you have a PlayStation 3, you like zombies, or you like apocalypse style games, or you like survival games, sorry, I almost said RPG. I haven't had any coffee yet. But if you like that experience of just going through and having the opportunity to play in the sandbox and build and do those things, it's a good game. Again, good load time, low memory space. It only took one update. I mean, I really don't have any knocks on this game. I would just suggest checking it out. Like I said, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 easily. It does seem like zombie games, in my opinion at least, are pretty awesome. One of my favorite games is Zombies Ate My Neighbors on Super Nintendo, and that is easily like a top three, top four game for me. This game is maybe not in that top five, but it's fighting for number six or seven. Um, Before playing this game and getting through it all the way, I would say that there was no competition between it and some of my other PS3 games I've really enjoyed. But yeah, I gotta be honest, guys, give it a shot because the game has a lot more layers to it than what you'd originally think. And again, you can spend a lot of time going through a lot of different areas to get a really great experience. So, but I think that's it. I think that's going to be the end of my review for Dead Island. I hope you guys check it out. Like, I know I'm kind of low energy, rambling. It's early. It's really hot too. It's just so freaking humid that it just kind of sucks the fun out of the room for me. But I gotta be honest, I played through this game twice just so I can make sure I beat it because I wanted to see how it ended. Definitely worth it. So I've dedicated a lot of time to this game. Um, I just, I'm very curious to see what the replay value of it is after you beat the story. That's something I might do a follow up on because I am pretty pumped on this game. We'll see what happens. So, otherwise, guys, thank you so much. My name's Tony. I'm living the dream, and this is Urban Girl Scout Media signing off from another game review.